It's prepared.
It's just heating the petrol in one big lump, all 20 gallons. That was delicious. You're going to need some more of it.
We're not allowed to take a taxi, so we have to use an incomprehensible underground system from Gare du Nord to Gare de Lyon.
Right, I've done the calculations on my phone, and it's doing 19 miles to the gallon. Bearing in mind we're only cruising, you'd have to say, drinks like an Aston should.
And James refuses to run on television.
So, James and Richard are now on an underground train.
We've got 2 stops, we've got 15 minutes to do.
I admit it is a bit tiring. Hannah, will you hurry up?
Don't!
Shut up.
We're catching a train.
I just wanted to ring you up and make life difficult. How long have you got to go to catch that train?
Minutes. If we don't catch this train...
If you don't catch the train, you lose the race.
If I want to talk to you, the less likely it is we'll be on the train. And now I've lost James.
Now, while we were off having our winter hibernation, Rover got together and did a deal with some car company that nobody's ever heard of in India, and they got a new car together. This is it. It's called the City Rover, and it's not really the sort of thing that we on Top Gear would usually bother with.
No, we would never film that and waste your evening showing it to you, okay? But we thought it would be our duty to actually drive it and find out what it's like. So we called up Rover, said, can we borrow one? Nothing unusual in that. You phoned Porsche,
Ferrari, anybody. They just give you a car, you
absolutely. We'll bring it around tomorrow. Phoned up Rover. We're not lending that to you, matey.
Seriously. That's what they
Not
said.
until hell freezes over, you're not driving one of them, and that's that.
And that confused us, because why would they be so secretive? What were they hiding? That meant either it was rubbish or it was catastrophically bad.
Exactly. So, we came up with a challenge. Bear in mind, we normally have just ignored it, but we had to thought, well, how bad is it? So, what we did was we said to James, get dressed up as a kind of Rover customer. Go down to a Rover showroom, okay? And borrow one of these, take it on a test drive and see if you can film a Top Gear report in full without the salesman noticing. And this is what happened.
Right, the dealership's just over there. I haven't seen the car yet, but I do have the brochure, and it looks jolly exciting. It's based on an Indian car called the Tata IndyCar, which is imported to Britain and then rebadged as a Rover. The engine started life in a Peugeot about 400 years ago, but of course it doesn't say any of that in here. It says it's stylish and exciting. Well, let's find out if it is, because here, in my tie, I've got a secret camera. My pretend girlfriend also has a secret camera hidden in a mobile phone, and we've cunningly positioned undercover camera people all round the test route. Right, we're not back in 20 minutes, turn over to half-eat. Now, we can't identify the dealer for lots of boring legal reasons, but the good news is, I'm in. Hiya. The bad news is, I haven't quite got the hang of this tie camera. So this is the City Rover. But then we got our act together, because we had a Top Gear road test to do, starting with interior accommodation. That is by good real legroom. That is a most capacious boot. So, nice and roomy, but as for interior quality, oh dear. So I think that Rover have to acknowledge that they can't quite match their German rivals when it comes to interior quality. This does feel like a car from the early 80s. This gear knob, for example, is very, very sharp. The dealer was hovering and obviously thinking I was one of those nutters who talks to himself, but I still had to deliver my verdict on value for money. Now this is the base 1.4 litre Solo. It's £6,500, and for that you get pretty much nothing. Manual, there's no central locking, there's only one airbag, and the radio comes with a cassette player, not a CD player. I have to say that the Daihatsu Charade, or the new Fiat Panda, is rather better equipped, because I know the area quite well. I worked out a little route that's about 15-20 minutes, is that okay? Now for the test drive, and the salesman insists on coming along in the back. Would he notice that I was talking in a bizarre road testing manner? But the gear change is rather old-fashioned on this. It reminds me a bit of the Mark I Vauxhall Cavalier I had in about 1981. test the brakes, where better than a zebra crossing? And cue the Top Gear pedestrian.
Sorry. That's a brake test. It seemed to work.
Next, ride and handling. There's no convenient twisty B road around here, so we have to improvise. Even at low speeds it rolls about badly, but what really bothers me is the ride, which, amazingly, manages to be bouncy and jarring at the same time. It's so awful that in front of the dealer I come over all polite and British.
It does seem to ride quite smoothly.
So, to sum up, the interior is low rent, the ride is poor, and you don't get a lot for your money. The only pluses are, it's big inside, and the 84 horsepower engine does pull well. But Lord, is it noisy. Anyway, time for an ambitious finale. Will the salesman rumble our Top Gear comparison test as we bring on the Fiat Panda?
Yeah, that's a Panda. I think that is actually the basic active Panda. That's quite interesting because I think the Panda is slightly better equipped. You do get electric windows, you do get power steering as standard, you do get central locking. It's got 2 airbags as well because it's got one for the passenger. And it's about £200 cheaper, 6,300.
Right, by now he really does think I'm barking, so it's back to the dealership. And there you go, 1 completed road test, 1 unsuspecting dealer, but only 1 verdict.
I think I like the Panda more though, if I'm really honest.
That was fantastic! That was great, but hang on, we've got to be sensible at this. Was that a proper Top Gear test? Was it? It was. Okay. Did he really not roll you? You looked so shifty.
I couldn't believe it. I kept expecting him to say, "You've got a Camry, you're tight."
I know.
But he didn't. He was so chuffed that someone had come out to drive his car. He'd been sick.
Not at all. First time it ever happened. Okay, but if it's a proper Top Gear report, you've got to give us a verdict. So,
Okay.
Was it rubbish or was it truly dreadful?
Okay, this is important. That is the worst car I've driven on this programme.
Okay. Actually, it's quite funny when you think about it. All those years we were exploiting India, and now they're getting their own back on us with that thing.
Okay, time now to meet our guest for the evening. Before she became a household face on Cold Feet, she was once eaten by Robert De Niro. Ladies and gentlemen, Faye Ripley! Eaten by Robert De Niro?
Well, strictly speaking, I wasn't eaten. I was actually strangled. A far
Oh,
more
strangled,
sophisticated
was it?
way to die.
What was that in?
That was in Frankenstein. To be honest, it was actually the stand-in for Robert De Niro that did me.
Oh, so you weren't even...
Helena Bonham Carter got Robert De Niro. I got Fred, or whatever his name was.
And then they cut you out of the film?
Yeah, they did, yes.
And I looked it up on the internet. This was your big break, wasn't it? Your big...
It was, yeah, it was.
The big break, and it just says in the credits, I've had to have got it here, Faye Ripley, ready?
Yeah.
Have you seen what this says?
No.
Whore, scenes deleted.
Welcome to my life.
Well, I was about to say, it's gone to cars. Was the start to your motoring career a little more auspicious than that?
I had a Mini as my first car, but I never had it. I mean, it was on its way to me, parked in Tottenham Court Road. It was nicked, in fact.
What, before you got it?
Just before I got it, yes.
So what did you replace it with?
A Mini.
Of course. And how did that one go?
I wrote that one off. Well, I didn't write it off. Obviously, the idiot who hit me wrote it off.
Yeah.
Admittedly, while I was singing along to 3 Times a Lady and
The
doing my
chorus.
lipstick.
Oh,
Yeah.
doing your lipstick when
Yeah.
he crashed into you.
Yeah.
Stupid
Oh.
man.
He was busy driving or something. Actually, I think we managed to get with knock for knock on it, whatever the hell knock for knock means. I thought it was sexual, but apparently it's a legal term.
It means you weren't putting lipstick on at the time.
Right. Oh, I must have lied. Oops.
What annoys you most then on the road as you drive around?
God, a couple of things. I mean, probably road rage is a thing, probably for me. I've grown out of road rage. Do you know what I mean? When I was younger,